NFL future picks with our boy Ben at FF Rabbit Dad. I'm Steve D'Angelo at Fantasy Savvy. Welcome everybody tonight. Switching up a little bit. Normally we're doing live drafting, but the season start next week. We got to get our future picks in, and I'm bringing a pretty savvy picker here. Ben, I'm going to bring up his record a little bit on Tally site for his spreads last year. I believe you were 59% on Tally site. What I was looking at, that's pretty damn good. Fourth overall. Now you're not putting in all the picks, but still, I mean that's repping right there. Fourth place. I think you nailed. I also saw that you nailed the defensive rookie, a defensive and offensive rookie of the year last year as well.
Yep.
So we're gonna bring Ben in. Guys, like, subscribe, share to the show. Follow me on X at Fantasy Savvy. And yeah, we're gonna do player props, player props. We're gonna do team totals. We're gonna get Ben's offensive and defensive rookie in the year because he nailed it last year, and MVP. And also we'll talk a little bit about the big trade that went down in the NFL today. So like, subscribe, share, follow me at X at Fantasy Savvy. Let's go. All right, man, we're back. You saw your
Yeah,
boy. You saw your boy Justin Jefferson and
I did.
answer
I
that.
did. Appreciate those Vikings highlights. There's plenty to choose from. But you got Jefferson in there. It's all day long.
Oh yeah, man. And I really like Jay McCarthy. I think they're gonna have a nice season. So, but let's get into it real quick. Obviously, it's in your division, NFC North. Micah Parsons going to the Packers for first two rounders, and Kenny Clark was like a 30-year-old safety. Jerry Jones. I mean, he's normally he gets these deals done, but I think that agent must have really pissed his ass off. Whatever
Yeah.
he said, you can go kiss my ass or whatever. And I think Jerry just wasn't having it. And, and the agent was putting together deals and Jerry obliged. I think he probably could have got more from Micah than the two first. I think they're going to be later first as well. But what are your thoughts on this powerhouse move now, Micah Parsons in your NFC North?
I mean, I would be lying if I said it didn't concern me a little bit. Micah Parsons is an absolute elite defensive stud, and now he's coming in division to the NFC North. It's a little bit scary, but I mean, it makes just the addition of one player makes them a little bit scarier, a little bit more of a contender just at a season long basis. I mean, yeah, like you said, probably could have gotten a little bit more. And yeah, they'll probably be later picks because, I have to go through my rankings again and be like, how do I stack up the Packers against the rest of the division? It's going to be a knot at the top of the division there between the three teams. It's like, yeah, I'm a little bit worried. We'll see what happens. This new offensive line the Vikings have, and obviously the Lions took a little shot with their defensive line, having a retiree in there, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I want to see the chaos ensue one way or the other.
Yeah, Packers went from plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl all the way down to plus 1,200 on that
Wow,
one move alone, and the Cowboys went from plus 4,000 to plus 6,000. So that was, that's a that's a huge shift for
that
both
is
teams, and just shows the enormous presence of Micah Parsons, who's an absolute, could be an absolute game wrecker. Now, some people say, he doesn't perform in the playoffs, but he's kind of been the only guy, to focus on too. So, just a huge move for the Packers. Jordan Love's got to get his act together, obviously, stop throwing off his freaking back foot all the time. But certainly Jared Goff doesn't like seeing that. Caleb Williams doesn't like seeing that either, I'm sure.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a huge shift right there. So let's get into our team totals first. I'll let you go first with your first team. I think, I got about three of them. Maybe you got four or five of them, but what's a couple here that stick out to you?
Well, let's see. I mean, let's just stick in division right off the bat. We'll talk about the Bears. I saw their season win total 6.5. I would take the under on that, and that's because the NFC North is a powerhouse division. It's probably the toughest division in the NFL, and you got the turnaround with the new head coach and the new offensive scheme. It takes time. It takes getting used to it and everything. So I feel like that's gonna give him a little bit of trouble, a little bit of the learning curve, and
Just
then
to just to
also
check you real quick. Bears is 8.5 the total.
8.5.
8.5.
I'm still definitely taking the under.
Yeah.
No, wherever I looked, I saw 6.5. So maybe what I was looking was wrong. But but no, 8.5. I would absolutely take the under on that one as well. I just think it's going to be a really rough first season with Ben Johnson at the helm. Caleb Williams learning a new offense. Second year player in the league, and then you got the running back situation in Chicago. I mean, yeah, there's DeAndre Swift, but we saw how quickly Ben Johnson was ready to get over with Swift when he was in Detroit. And then also you've got, Monangai, you've got Roshan Johnson, both unproven. Obviously, one's a rookie, one's been in the league for a couple of years. But I feel like there's just like it's mostly that learning curve that you have with a new head coach. I mean, even look at Dan Campbell. He came in and I think the Lions won 6 games in his first season. Granted, they went up from there every season afterwards, but it was the seasons after. So I'm predicting something similar with the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, even coordinators that leave their first year, and some coordinators never succeed. I mean, Josh McDaniels, he was kind of the guru. He never succeeded. I mean, even like, Bill Belichick early, when he first left Parcells, he went with the Browns. He didn't succeed either. So, you just never know what these guys are going to do when they first leave teams. So, Ben Johnson obviously was the most coveted freaking hire. They made a lot of really good moves, but I'm with you. 8.5. Actually, that was one of my picks too, to take the under on the Bears. And now with Micah Parsons in the division, that makes it even worse for the Bears. So, yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams has to show a lot more than what he did last year. Was definitely rough around the edges. He didn't throw a lot of picks, but was taking a ton of sacks. And, they were behind in the first half a lot. He had to throw a lot in the second half. So I like that one. I'm with you on the Bears under 8.5. All right. Give me another one that you like.
Let's see. Another one I like. We'll go with the individual one more time and I'll go with the Vikings. The number I saw was 10.5. Whether it's that or it's a little bit lower, I'm taking the over. I think the Vikings are in for a division crown this year because of the revamped offensive line, because the defense has looked absolutely intimidating. I was at a couple of the training camp live, and the reason that people were like starting to crap on McCarthy was because he did look pedestrian in those camp sessions, because the defense is just clicking together so well and on all cylinders, and just making it tough for him, making him have to earn the reps, making him have to earn the looks, and the defense wouldn't let up. So I feel like the defense plus the revamped offensive line, you got the split now duo of the Mason and Jones in the backfield, who are going to be able to keep each other healthy by splitting time. It's just everything seems to be coming together for the Vikings to get another division crown this year, in my opinion. So over 10.5 wins for sure. I'd say even over. I'd say probably 12 is what I've actually got predicted. So
Vikings right here, they are 8.5.
8.5. Well, geez, match the
Yeah.
over. Where did I get my numbers from? What the hell?
You might be looking at it last year, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got it right. I got it right here. It says 8.5.
Sure. Well, yeah, absolutely take the over on that.
Their schedule is tough, man. You got to admit.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
you're in that division. Yeah, you
yeah.
can probably, best case scenario, you get 4 wins out of that division. Like the Bears probably lose 5 or 6 of their division games. So that means you got 1 or 2 at least wins for the Vikings and everybody else in the division. And I mean, I feel like, the Vikings just like everything worked out so well last year with the pieces brought in. Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator knows what he's doing, and he's going to continue to work his magic here, while NFL franchises are like, no, I don't want to sign him as head coach. No, too much drama, too many issues. Like, fine, we'll take advantage of that because he's a genius as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was kind of weird how he left Miami there, and definitely was a good pickup by the Vikings. But yeah, they got to play that division. Then they got to also play Philly. They got to go into LA and play the Chargers. They play Baltimore. So even at Pittsburgh, got to play Cincinnati as well. So it's definitely a tough schedule.
Mhm.
I
Wasn't the
do.
Pittsburgh game in?
Oh yeah,
Is that one of the
that's it.
international?
I think
Yeah,
that might be Ireland, maybe.
yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
Ireland game. But either way,
Actually,
I mean,
they're playing back to back international games.
yep, first ever team to play back-to-back international games. That's going to be a big advantage in the second one because
Well, I
they're already
think
going to be accustomed to the time and the location and everything. So the other team coming in while the Vikings have
yeah.
already been there for a week. I mean, it's got to be a little bit of an
I
advantage.
think
I'm
I
not
think
not
they're
scared to admit.
I think they're the first team to play in two different countries back to back because I think the Jaguars played in England back to back last year or 2
Well, they
years
might have,
ago.
yeah, yes,
And I and
definitely.
I and I remember thinking that they definitely had an advantage because they were in the time zone, they were settled down, and I think the Jaguars did win that second game. Actually, you know what? I think the Jaguars beat the Bills. That was 2 years ago. Yeah, the Jaguars beat the Bills in London because they were there 2 weeks in a row. So that kind of goes to show you that teams are just settled down. So yeah, that game against Cleveland, maybe that's a really good game to take. Even though they're traveling a little bit, but still, it's not that far. What is like an hour flight from UK, from Ireland, maybe 2 hours. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
So
it's basically
yeah,
maybe an hour time difference, if that,
yeah.
so yeah.
So
No, it's definitely an advantage. And
let's keep that in mind. Maybe slam Minnesota in that UK game against Cleveland. But
oh yeah.
yeah, so that's interesting too. But the good thing is after those two games, they get a bye. So it's not like they
Mhm.
have to play right away. But then they come back and play Philly at least. But they got some time to prepare for them. All right. So I'll give you one of mine, and then we'll go back to you. The Bears was one of mine as well. I'm going to go with the Raiders over 6.5. I just think, Pete Carroll, you got Tom Brady, monitoring everything that's going on over there. Geno is a huge upgrade from their quarterbacks last year with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and they bring in Genti into the building. They Brock Bowers second year. They draft a couple. A couple nice rookies in Dante Thornton and Jack Betch, but they also bring in I think Jacoby Myers is going to stay. I think he probably heard some rumblings they were going to do something, and then when Cooper came in, he's like, all right, whatever, that's fine. I think he's all right. He showed up at practice the next day, but I think Amari Cooper is kind of at a little bit of an underrated signing because I still think he's got some juice left. I was watching, some of his games last year against the Bill. I mean, with the Bills, and he played the Chiefs in one game, and he basically just there was one route where he schooled McDuffie on, and I think the issue was he came into that team late. He didn't play a lot of snaps. He didn't get a lot of targets, and he was kind of content just sitting back. I mean, Mac Hollins was getting more targets than him. I mean, more snaps than him. So I think the Bills, weren't really ready to give him full time yet because he maybe didn't pick up the playbook. But now he's got time to kind of get geared up with the Raiders. It might take a little while, maybe like week 4, week 5, week 6. But I think he's going to be a good piece for them, and I could actually see him having a better year than Jacoby Myers. So, that's another nice signing for them.
Mhm.
And you got the stability of Pete Carroll, who is a winning coach. So that's it's not a big total. It's 6.5. I really like that one.
No, yeah, I almost put that on my list too, actually. I also agree. Like, I think that Cooper was a good signing. I mean, if not for the fact that all those old Raiders fans can dust off their old Amari Cooper jerseys now, and throw them back on,
Yeah.
because you saving a little money. Yeah, right. Fans come in, put on the old Amari Cooper jersey.
Yeah, it looks good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I like Amari going there, and I mean, I feel like maybe, I mean, I'm trying to remember exactly how the timeline went down. Was the signing first of Cooper happen, or did Genti or not Genti? Did
No,
Jacoby?
Myers was complaining, and then
Oh, he did complain first. Okay,
like 2 days later, Cooper was brought in.
yeah, no, that's right. So, I mean, maybe there was just maybe they heard the rumblings, and
Right.
obviously they heard the rumblings, and they're like, all right, let's bring in somebody else who we know is a veteran, who
That
know
too. Yeah.
we know has skills, and like you said, he's probably got some juice left in the tank. I mean, we see guys like Adam Thielen going out there at the age 33 and still
Right.
being the guy for his team on the offense. So,
Yeah.
absolutely, I like the Raiders pick.
Yeah, and he's only 30. I mean, he's only
Yeah,
30 years old. And again, I watched some of his highlights. He made some great catches with the Bills last year. He's still a crafty route runner. So even some of that speed and burst is gone. I still think he could succeed. And then you got Bowers around, you got Myers, you got Genty to take pressure off. So that's going to be an interesting offense. I have pretty high hopes for the Raiders offense and their team offensively this year. All right, give me one more or whatever you got
One
left.
more. Let's see. What do I got left? What do I have left? I've got. Oh, you know what? I got the Jaguars. The number I have is 6.5, but I'm guessing that might be wrong based on my other two picks. But no, I love the Jaguars this year with Cohen coming in.
Jags is seven and a half.
7.5. Yeah, I will take the over on that one. I actually got the Jags winning the division this year. I think bringing in the new coach, and I know we just talked about the new coach thing, and I brought it up myself, but the pieces are there. It's just you don't have to force the run game because you've got three guys back there right now who can split the workload pretty well between Tootin, Bigsby, and Etienne. Etienne be more of the pass savvy running back, but at the same time, Brian Thomas Jr. was amazing last year. You bring in Travis Hunter, who's going to be playing all over the place on both sides of the ball, doing his thing, being one of those guys that everybody wants to watch see what he can do. And that division is, I mean, you got the Colts and the Titans, who are both kind of stinkers. No offense to either of them. They're rebuilding. They're coming back. The Colts with their quarterback issues and whatnot. And you got Houston at the top. But they took a little shot at their offensive line. I feel like their offensive line is a little weaker than it was last year, and it was already pretty poor last year. Excuse me. So I just feel like it's all set up. The Jags can do it. They've got a decent defense. They've got all those passing weapons. It's the Trevor Lawrence, prove it or lose it year.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't show up this year, I mean, there's a chance they could just be like, you know what? Thanks, Trevor. We're gonna find somewhere else to go. See what we can ship you off for, maybe, or just maybe even just cut him out if they're really unhappy with him. But I think he's gonna come up and he's gonna answer the call. He's gonna put out a great year, like over 4,000 yards passing, do some crazy stuff on offense. I think, yeah, the Jags over 7.5 for certain. Take the division.
You think they're going to win the division too over Houston?
Yeah, I think they're going to win the division over Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Indy's not really formidable. Tennessee, Cam Ward, obviously, they're going to be better this year with him for sure. But still not I don't really like Callahan that much anyway. But Houston, yeah, they'll be tough again. But yeah, I could see the Jags winning that division for sure. They're probably the value pick there, as Houston's going to be the favorite. All right, I'll go with one more. You picked your home team. Your team. I'm going to pick my team as well, and the Jets over 5.5. I think the Jets can win at least 7-8 games. I don't think their schedule is that terrible. I think we could sweep Miami. Miami could be a shit show. Who the hell knows? Miami could be like the Phoenix Suns and completely break up after this year. Durant, like the Tyreek could get shipped off. Tyreek might get shipped off the middle of the year. It's just kind of weird vibes down there. Mike McDaniel's starting to look like Mark Anthony, being in Miami too long. So I don't know what to expect from Miami, man. I really don't. Their secondary has a lot of holes. So yeah, I mean, New England's going to be better for sure with Vrabel. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And they did make a lot of good defensive pickups. Actually, that might be a good one too, to take New England over. And Drake May should take some strides as well. They bring in Diggs. But yeah, I think the Jets with Fields, with Aaron Glenn, I think he's going to have that team discipline. Their defense will be playing better again. They were playing good ball under Saleh, the past couple seasons. Even last year, they were playing pretty good defense until Woody Johnson came in and, got rid of Saleh and brought in Ulbrich, and their team completely fell apart.
Yeah, Woody Johnson got rid of Saleh.
Yeah, Woody Johnson. Yeah, speaking of bad owners, I mean, I'd probably rather have Jerry Jones than Woody Johnson, to be honest.
I'd rather have either of them than the Poleats in Minnesota for baseball, but that's another story we can get into another time.
Yeah, I was saying the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, when the Yankees played the Twins because the Yankees were struggling, I go, what a perfect team to bring in for the Yankees to get back on track.
I saw that. I fully agree. It's like, you know what? You want some wins? Bring
It's
Minnesota to town.
it really is crazy how the Yankees just dominate the Twins over here. It's just,
Oh yeah, it's just
um,
what are you gonna do?
no, what are you gonna do? It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, on the other hand, freaking what 1-7 against the Red Sox this year, our biggest rivalry. So that's terrible.
Mm,
But yeah, the Jets, it's not so much to ask. I mean, I think they could sweep Miami. I think they could beat Carolina at home. They could probably split with New England. That's 4 wins right there. They go to New Orleans. They could win that. I think they could beat Atlanta. So 5.5 is even the opener against Pittsburgh. I think they could win that game too. So 5.5 is not much to ask. So I'm going to take the Jets there.
yeah, no, I like that pick too, and I steered away from that one just because I figured you'd probably go with it because I know they're your team. But no, I
Yeah.
fully agree. I feel like a lot of times I've noticed over the last few years, like when a defensive guy comes in and takes over as a new head coach, like you could say this about the Houston when D'Amico Ryans came in, defensive guy came in,
Yeah.
and the like just the team clicks better together. They get the discipline is more straight and more laid out, and it feels like it works better faster. And like we saw like last year, division winning Houston Texans with D'Amico Ryans at the helm. Kevin Stefanski. Well, no, that's not no, that's an offensive guy, but he's also a guy who appreciates the defense and likes the run game. So he's more of an old school soul.
Well, they brought in a good defensive coordinator too, and Jim Schwartz. Right?
Yeah, and that as well. But
Yeah.
so I feel like you can get that discipline and you can get things laid out and more streamlined quicker with a guy like, when you bring in Aaron Glenn. And I feel like it's a good thing for the Jets. I love Aaron Glenn. I think he's going to make a really good career as a head coach in the NFL. Just, why don't take the big challenge? Take the Jets, who everybody always craps on every year. Go
Yeah,
Jets.
I always get. I try not to get my hopes up on the Jets. Because they're just constantly disappoint you. But I would lie to you if I wasn't excited this year. I definitely am excited. Did you hear about Aaron Glenn and Aaron Rodgers? That whole thing that happened there.
Oh no, I think I missed that one, but this sounds
So
like a good story.
this is when Aaron Glenn first got hired. He basically flew Rodgers in, and he said, "Are you ready to win this year?" And Rodgers was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "We're something like that, whatever. Are you ready to play?" And then Glenn's like, "We're moving on. We're going a different direction." And freaking Rodgers was like, "Why couldn't you just tell me that over the phone? You had to make me fly all the way from California." And freaking Glenn's like, "Get it." I don't know. They had like this argument. Like Glenn was just all business with him, like no nonsense, and like Rodgers was pissed off. So it was like, and then something else said like, Aaron Glenn goes, "You don't know me," and then Rodgers goes, "Well, you don't know me either." Fucking like some shit like that. So it was definitely interesting. He was talking about it on the McAfee show. There's definitely a clip out there of
For sure.
Rodgers talking about this. You got to check that out. I
will
just
definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy. So yeah, he's like a no nonsense coach. Obviously he's from the Parcells tree and with Dan Campbell, so that's a good tree to come from. It doesn't always work out, of course. He could definitely flop as a head coach. Who the hell knows? But they bring in Eggstrand from the Lions as well. So I think they're doing some good things. They're going to run the hell out of the football. I think their defense could play too. So, all right, you got any more, or do you want to move on?
I think I'll throw my last one out there. I had the Bengals on there. The Bengals, the number I have was 8.5, but
no, 9.5.
9.5. I still like the over on that one. Actually, I do. I think the Bengals can knock out 10 wins this year. I mean, yeah, they're going to be a lot of high scoring games. There's going to be games where they win like, there's going to be like 35-31 or 42-38 or some crazy scores like that. But they've got so many offensive weapons. They've got Joe Burrow slinging the ball. They've got arguably the best wide receiver in the league. They've got one of the great young up and coming running backs when it comes to Chase Brown. And they have almost no defense. It's like it's gonna be a shootout every single week. And I feel like just based on all the offensive weapons they've got, Gesicki tight end, wasn't it? Did they bring in Fant? Wasn't it?
They brought in Fant too.
Yeah, they brought in Fant too. So you got two pass catching tight ends who are, Fant's not a bad blocker, so he's going to get plenty of time on the field. You got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase, you even got Andre Yoshivas, you got Jermaine Burton. those last two guys that had a lot of promise coming into their rookie year, and we even saw flashes of it from Yoshibas last year. Burton
Mhm.
can stay healthy and lock in that third role. I mean, seriously, they could score 35 points a game possibly, and if they can do that, even against tough teams with tough defenses, I mean, they could knock out 10 wins. So I'm taking the over even on that 9.5.
Yeah, and they do get rid of Lou Anarumo, who was in the building for a long time there. Had a lot of he messed up Mahomes a couple times in the playoffs too. He was on his game for sure. Also the Bills, but yeah, last year was a disaster. Their defense was absolutely atrocious. They started the season so slow. They
Yeah.
finished red hot, but they had the freaking they had all those games where they barely lost because of their freaking defense. So that's why you saw Joe Burrow playing like a lot in the preseason, and then the offense, like Taylor wanted them to start strong. So they'll probably come out week one
Mhm.
against Cleveland and absolutely wreck Cleveland.
Yeah, and we got
Um,
Joe Burrow coming into the regular season healthy, which he hasn't done the last couple of
that
years.
too.
He's come in,
That too.
like limping in. So a part of the reason they start off slow. I mean, your quarterback ain't at 100%. That's a big deal. But now he's coming in 100% healthy. He's ready to go, ready to sling it. Why don't they just start off with a bang and knock out Cleveland by like 25 points or whatever, and just go into the next game and the next game and just let it ride, keep slinging it, keep going. Who Dey Bengals, let's go.
Yeah, man. And it's tough. Like the AFC is stacked. So if Cincinnati gets in, that means probably one of those AFC West teams is going to be out.
Hmm.
If either the Chiefs, maybe who knows? I mean, maybe the Broncos or the Chargers. If the Bengals get in, probably one of those three teams doesn't get in, and then the rest of the division just won. So I don't know. What do you think? You think Cincinnati's definitely going to the playoffs? Obviously, you have the win over, but who would you pick to be out of the playoffs in the AFC there
Oh, let's
amongst
see.
those teams?
Amongst you know what? Honestly, I'm thinking the Chargers. Out of those ones we just mentioned, I think the Chargers were the ones who might just barely miss out, and it's just because of okay. So we perceive we got the running game. We got Amari Hampton coming in to do his thing and whatnot, and we had Najee Harris, who we don't know how ready he's going to be for Week 1. So we've got either we've got the old guy who blew up his face on the 4th of July, or we got the young guy who has not shown anything at the pro level yet outside of preseason and training camp, which means absolutely nothing. You got a passing game that's I mean, yeah, McConkey's good, Herbert's good. You got Keenan Allen coming in for maybe one last hurrah. Does he still have it? He looked like it for the most of last year, but I feel like I like the Broncos as a sneaky team to sneak in there and maybe do some damage, maybe upset somebody. I've got a lot of hope for them. A lot of like, there's just something that feels like things are coming together. And I hate Sean Payton, but I'm saying this anyways because this the way that team looks and it's built, and the defense, the running game, Bo Nix. I mean, yeah, no, I think Chargers out of that group that we just mentioned is might be the last man out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those three teams, for sure. The Chargers, Harbaugh, I mean, it's tough to pick against him. He's a winner. He got that defense turned around. After they were basically underachieving all those years. But yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting
Yep.
if the Bengals do get in. All right, let's move on to the player props now. Do you have I mean, I have a ton of overs here. Um, I'm wondering if you have any unders on the player props.
I mean, let's see. I mean, yeah, I do have some unders. Maybe I've got one under. And I was just
Yeah,
talking about
unders
it,
are
but
no fun, but they win
no,
money
but
usually. So
yeah. So let's get those out of the way. Uh, I was just mentioned Bo Nix. I'm taking the under on his passing touchdowns. Um, the number I saw, which again might not be right, but it said what 23 and a half, 24 and a half. And yeah, granted, he threw 29 last year in not a full season, but I feel like that was just they had no running game last year. I feel like 29 is definitely like a peak for a guy like Bo Nix, who's got the ability to scramble and run around a little bit. I feel like 24 is a lot. 25 is a lot. Um, I feel like he might struggle to get to 20, but that doesn't mean I don't think the Broncos are going to be good. I just said I could see them sneaking in and doing some damage in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm taking the under on Nix with his passing touchdowns, unless it's something stupid like 18 and a half or something, and I just
24 and a half. What did you say?
yeah, that's where I had 24 and a half. So I'm
Yeah.
taking the under on that one for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's going to run in some for sure. You know, they bring in Harvey and J.K. Dobbins as well.
McLaughlin ain't no joke. He can break one off here and there too. I mean, they got three guys who we've seen do damage on the ground in the past. Granted, you know, and McLaughlin, he could be a solid second on a lot of teams in the NFL, in my opinion. But you know, yeah, like you said, Harvey, Dobbins, you know, let's go. Just to run the ball out, have that good defense where the teams can't pass against you. Yeah, for sure.
All right. I like that under. All right. So I'm going to go with an over. The first one, I'll go with Ashton Genty over 7.5 rushing TDs. I mean, again, I already talked about the Raiders. I think their offense is going to be good. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I have them over 6.5 wins, and I expect Genty to clean up a lot of those, you know, touchdowns down by the goal line. So he's going to get the ball inside the 10, inside the 5. And even if he doesn't go for a bunch of yards, like maybe he's held under, you know, 1,100 yards, or even, you know, maybe he finishes at like 1,000 yards. I still think he can get 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. So that one just seems, I don't know. I mean, you know, you never know. Sometimes like things seem too easy, but it's the prop market. I don't know if it's as sharp as, you know, just picking games straight up or picking, you know, totals. But, you know, and I would say, you know, us fantasy guys should have a little bit of an advantage in the prop market, right? So
Sure.
let's go with the over 7.5. I feel like Genty can get at least 8 touchdowns, and if he doesn't, I mean, he's definitely not paying off that first round value.
No, yeah. I mean, you said like 8 rushing or just 8 total.
No, it's 7.5 rushing touchdowns. So I'll give me
Okay,
8
yeah,
rushing touchdowns. Yeah,
yeah. No, I like that too. I
yeah.
do. And actually, not to like jinx him, but I have it over on Genty as well. But I took it on his rushing yard prop. I think that we could possibly see like a historic rookie running back season from Genty. I mean, what do they got there? I mean, yeah, they brought in Amari Cooper, and he might still have something in the tank, but he might not. And they've still got Brock Bowers, who was amazing last year. And then they've got Genty, and then they've got what, Trey Tucker. You know, Jack Besh has looked pedestrian in training camp. He's probably going to be a situational receiver at least at the start of the season. I mean, I think you got to put the ball in your playmaker's hands, and if you can't put it in Brock Bowers' hands every time, you put it in Ashton Genty. I think he could hit 1,100 yards. I think he could hit 1,200 yards.
Definitely could. Yeah, I mean, he could.
Hmm.
I mean, the record is Eric Dickerson, 1,800 yards. By the
Yeah,
way,
I'm not saying that historic, but I could see him. Yeah, 12, even 1,300 rushing yards. I'm not even kidding. I could see it
yeah,
happen. I
I
could
could see
see
it too.
him, you know, like paying off that late first round, early second round fantasy value. I even went so far in one analyst draft just to shake things up. I got randomly picked with the 101. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go Jancy just to see how it plays out, because you know there's going to be leaks where somebody goes in and says,
Yeah, I
"I
mean,
got the 101. I want Ashton Genty. Yeah, I live in Las Vegas, but I don't care. I want my guy. Get your guy.
yeah,
Absolutely.
get your guy, especially when you're not going to get him back. He's not, you know, he's not
No,
going to come back to you. So yeah,
no, yeah. When you're picking that early, yeah, you either take him there or you don't get him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mind that. Just throwing out ADPs, you know, especially on the type of league. You know, if you're just trying to have fun with it, or it's a big money league and you feel it, you have a whatever. If you have an instinct about it, whatever. I mean, you know, you take your shot. I don't care.
Hmm.
But yeah, Jamar Chase is, you know, everybody just takes him number one, but that hasn't worked out so well the past couple seasons. The consensus
Yeah.
number one keeps busting or getting hurt
Hmm.
rather. Um, all right. So we like Genty. We're both, you're in on his rushing. I'm in on the rushing touchdowns. I'm going to go
Yeah.
with another running back here. Tony Pollard over 900 rushing yards. He had 1,000 last year with freaking Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. You bring
Hmm.
in Cam Ward. Their offensive line's better. They're going to open up holes. Tajay Spears is going to miss a month. So, Tony Pollard, I think people kind of are down on him because that last year in Dallas, he was coming back from the broken fibula and he just wasn't the same. Same thing with Pacheco. You kind of saw the same thing from him. Wasn't the same last year off the broken fibula. So he's healthy. He's still a very, very dynamic back. I could see 1,000 yards easy once again from him.
Yeah, I'm right on board with you. I mean, I that couple of years ago from that last year in Dallas, like you mentioned, like he was way up on people's draft boards, and I was like, no, I'm out because that's a significant injury. It's not it's not an ACL or an MCL or something like that, but it's something that takes time to come back from. You got that leg has to strengthen back up after not being able to do anything for months. So
Yeah.
I felt like he was. I mean, obviously I knew he was going way overdrafted, and then last year I was all in back again because it was an affordable price. He's on a new
Yeah.
team. It's not the same kind of thing when if an older wide receiver moves to another team, they usually a lot of the time they kind of suffer. They don't suffer. They don't come back or don't produce the same as they do right off the bat, learning the new stuff. But no, I like Pollard a lot this year, and like you said, I mean, he's basically got no competition for touches. Spears is not there. I think Chestnut is the next guy up, and
Yeah.
what are we really seeing from him yet? And you got to have somebody in the backfield there to help take some of the weight load off of the rookie quarterback. You can't just have the rookie quarterback taking over and throwing the ball every time, scrambling out left or out right or whatever. I think Pollard's going to have a nice year. I like that over on that. I like over 1,000 on him too.
Well, over 900. So
yeah, over 900 for sure, and I like over the 1,000 too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could definitely see that. All right, give me another one.
All right. I'm going to go back to quarterback on this one. I'm going to go with my boy Drake May. The touchdown prop I have for him was 20.5. That might be incorrect again, but at the same time, I've got him going over that. I got him over the 20.5. I've got him over 22.5.
19 and a half. 19 and a half.
Oh, smashing that. I gotta go take a mortgage out, man. I gotta put some money down on that one. Travel to Vegas and throw down some money. He's definitely going over on that one. He's got last year, no offensive line, no receiving weapons outside of Demario Douglas and maybe Hunter Henry, but it was so bad. But at the same time, he still produced. He had plenty of rushing yards. I love Drake May so much this year because now they've upped the offensive line with that early draft pick. They brought in Stephon Diggs. They've brought in Kyle Williams, who I think after a couple of weeks is going to really start to flourish when he gets his opportunity. Kind of a la like how Justin Jefferson started out, where he didn't really do anything for the first few weeks, but then once he clicked, once he got it, then he started performing. I'm not saying he's the next Justin Jefferson, but I'm saying give him a couple weeks. We'll see him come back. And, Kayshon Boutte looked good at times last year. You still got Hunter Henry there, who's been a reliable target. I think, 19.5 is I'm going way over on that one. Drake May, he is my guy this year. I'm going out of my way in some drafts to make sure that I land him. I overpaid for him in an auction yesterday because I want him on my team.
How much did you spend for him?
It was $1,000 budget, and I spent I think 95.
That throws things off for me because usually it's what $200. So.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but at the same time, I already had two quarterbacks, but I'm like I want Drake May. I want him. I'll keep going. I would have gone over 100. Thankfully, I didn't have to, but but no, I'm all in on Drake May.
Yeah, no, he's a great value. He's a great value.
Yeah.
I did a draft the other day. I took him and JJ McCarthy, so I feel good about that.
And yeah, JJ's the other quarterback I got in that league, and Trevor Lawrence actually. Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, JJ McCarthy it's actually the Scott Fish market. So it's an auction Scott Fish Bowl kind of thing. Cool. So it's very limited. There's only 5 divisions, but it's the same scoring, the same roster setup and everything. So it's there's no quarterback needed, but you got 2 super flex spots. So yeah, no, I'm going to love going between those 3 all year long, just letting the points roll in. Drake May's my guy.
Yeah, I mean, the rushing's going to be there too. So it's just
absolutely.
It seems safe. It seems pretty damn
safe.
Yeah.
he gets 500 yards rushing easily this year, and that's a great floor to have for a quarterback, especially when you're getting him in like almost like double-digit rounds as like the
Yeah.
12th or 13th quarterback off the board. No,
Yep.
absolutely, Drake May smash that over on his passing touchdowns. Absolutely smash the over on his rushing. I don't even know what his rushing prop is, but I'm smashing the over on it anyways.
Yeah, no, a lot of people like Drake May. I mean, he certainly had a pretty nice rookie year, despite playing behind a terrible offensive line, and limited weapons. The weapons are definitely much improved this year, like you said. Yeah, there's a few here I'm looking at. We talked about this off air, but the Gibbs one over 1,075 rushing yards. I mean, he had 1,400 rushing yards last year, and you have to think that they're going to give him a little bit more of a share compared to. I mean, Montgomery was hurt last year. Obviously, that helped him get more carries, but even this year, you would expect Gibbs to get more of the share of carries. And I mean, it just doesn't seem like you're asking too much. It almost seems too easy at the 1,075. Like I could easily see him get. I mean, the guy could run for, like we said, if he gets 350 carries. Something happens to Montgomery, he's getting 2,000 yards. I mean, he's just so freaking explosive. So to just give me 1,100 yards just seems too easy. I don't know. Maybe I won't even take that one because it seems too easy to me. But
free
it's
money. I don't want that. I don't want no free money. What are you talking about?
It's just like it just seems too easy. So when it seems too easy or too good to be
candy
true
from a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'll bet something, maybe just not a ton on it. But I'll give you another one. I'm going to go Brian Thomas over 7.5 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's a touchdown machine. I mean, he led college football in touchdowns with 17 last year. With Mac Jones, he was scoring touchdowns left and right. So I just, that one seems like a no brainer to me too. Minus 120.
Yeah, no, that's minus 120. I think that's more easy money. Like I said, I'm all in on the Jaguars offense this year. I love Brian Thomas. I love Tank Bigsby. I love Brenton Strange. I might be crazy, but I've got him pegged as like a top 5 fantasy tight end this year.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
that's
too high. That's too high.
I mean, a few months ago, I did an article like dark horse tight ends who could be the number 1 overall, and I'm like, you know what? Let me look at Brenton Strange. And I looked at it, and they got Brian Thomas and they got Travis Hunter, who's not going to get all those targets. He might. I think he might get 80 targets. But then you got Strange, who's going to be there all day long. He can block and he can catch. We saw him at the end of last year have productive days where he went off for like 60, 70, 80 yards. I think just the fact that they're going to need to pass the ball, and Liam Cohen's in there now, and he's a passing guy. And he's utilized the tight ends in the past too. I know we're getting off base here, but I just started talking about Brenton Strange. I'm like, Brenton Strange, if I could have found a prop for him, I would have put him on my list, but I didn't find one for him. So, but no, I love Brenton Strange this year. I think that Jaguars offense is going to take off. Thomas, you're going to get enough value out of Hunter at times. The running backs, you're going to be able to flex each of the running backs at different times over the course of the whole year. I think I really, really see some really positives in this Jaguars offense. Or maybe I'm crazy and I'm going to just destroy my credibility with this.
Well, like you said earlier, it comes down to Trevor Lawrence. He's got to put up. I mean, he was the number 1 pick. He was hyped as like one of the best prospects in a long time, and he's been a little underwhelming. So he's just got to stay consistent. He's really got no excuses. So, I mean, you definitely could be right. Maybe he takes that next step here with Liam Cohen. Maybe Liam Cohen really just elevates him. I actually went to their camp. Diami Brown was actually catching a bunch of passes in the drills I was watching. Yeah. They had 3 receivers out there, so he's like a good late best ball pick.
And then they get Tim Patrick too in a trade, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him go off. We've seen him do crazy high level things, just explode.
You wonder if that. I mean, he's tore his ACL a couple times, so maybe he's not the same guy he was. But you wonder if maybe they're trying to take Hunter off the field a little bit more, just in case they need to. And that was kind of my thought. Like, yeah, maybe it starts out 70-30, but maybe Hunter's just like dominating on defense. Just shutting down guys. Like he's just too valuable where they have to kind of shift him more to the defense a little bit more than they expected. So that's the one risk of taking Hunter in drafts. So obviously, the upside is immense with him too. So I see both sides of it. You mentioned Tank Bigsby. Do you think he's going to win that backfield, or you just think he's going to be like the 1A, 1B there?
I think it's going to be a more of a committee approach. I think he's going to be the guy who gets the short yardage and gets a lot of the touchdowns and everything. And I think ultimately he will lead the team in rushing yards, but it's not going to be like 800-900 yards in a season. Like I think he's going to get a good 600, maybe 700. It depends on how many times they give him the ball. Travis Etienne is like out of the three of them, he's the one clear pass catching back. Tootin, I mean, there's people who love Tootin, and then there's people who are like, okay, he's got a funny name. But no, I think he's skilled enough that he's going to be able to eventually start taking a chunk out of that. But I think at least in the meantime, it's going to be a 1A 1B thing, and then if one of them goes down, maybe Tootin takes over and does well via the pass, via the run, by the short yardage, by the between the 20s. I mean, I could see them going for a lot of yards on the ground, but I think it's going to be pretty split between the three of them. But I do like Bigsby.
Yeah, and there's rumblings that either him or Etienne could get traded. So
that could change things a lot.
They did bring Cohen in under Liam Cohen, so maybe he does. Maybe he's got high hopes for Tootin at some point. They'll probably wait to see how Tootin looks, and if he looks good and he's really playing well, then maybe one of those guys gets moved. So we'll see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, give me another one.
All right, let's see what else I got. I'm gonna go tight end now. I'm gonna go George Kittle. The prop I found was 900.5, and I think I would have taken the over if it was 1,000.5. Just the fact that they've had so many injuries through the passing game to the point where they desperation signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling to the practice squad because what do they got, like 2 active guys on roster right now in the wide receiver room? It's
Demarcus Robinson got suspended for 3 games.
He got suspended, right? And we don't know about Jennings, and we don't have Ayuk for the start of the season. So we got Ricky Pearsall, who I like, and we got Sky Moore, and then whoever they sign out of the local Walmart.
Well, how about I know Cowing's on the pup. How about the rookie Watkins? Is he healthy, or is he hurt too?
Oh, I thought he was hurt. I mean, if I thought he was like kind of dinged up, but maybe I heard wrong. But at the same time, I mean, okay, so there's 3 guys,
but the weapons. I mean, you're right.
Like,
I mean, it has to go to Kittle.
It has to go to Kittle. It's got to go to Kittle. He's got to get a hold on touches. I mean, I could see him raking in, 100 receptions this year. If things stay like this, obviously, like I said, we got Ayuk, who's not going to play for a while. We got no Jennings right now, which that maybe that's contract related, maybe that's actually injury related, maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know. I love Jawan Jennings. I wish he was healthy and satisfied with being in San Francisco at his current situation right now, but we know he's not happy, and we think he's hurt. So I mean, Kittle all day long. I mean, it felt like just such a like.
That's a good one.
If he plays the whole season, like he's going to easily surpass that 1,000 yards receiving. I mean, it's just a done thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's 900.5, and he's been over 1,000 4 times in his career. The last 2 years he's done it, and you think, and he only played 15 games last year. But you think even well, maybe not last year, but even 2 years ago, they were keeping him in the block a lot. I mean, he was only getting 65 catches, 78 catches because he's such a great blocker. So they had to keep him in, but now they have to pass to him more. And they probably want to keep CMC a little bit more fresh too.
Yeah.
They bring in Brian Robinson. So maybe Brian Robinson will get carries too, but yeah, I mean, Kittle's probably going to be running more routes than ever. And he's been back-to-back 1,000. Yeah, I really like that one. This could be like a career season. And everybody says, well, why take Bowers and take McBride in the 2nd and 3rd round? We can get Kittle in the 4th round. And it kind of seems too easy because it's kind of set up for Kittle, but really it makes a lot of freaking sense. So Kittle, you're right, man. That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I'm aiming for him in a couple of my leagues this weekend. Not the one where I get to keep Bowers for an 11th round pick. But other than that, yeah, I'm aiming for Kittle.
Sweet. I got Bowers. I'm keeping him. I think it's eighth round pick. I think I got him in the.
Yeah.
I think I got him in the. Oh, maybe because it moves up 2 rounds, so I think it's moving up to the 6th. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
ours moves up 1 round each year. So I drafted him in the 12th last year because
Okay.
he was still there. I'm like, how is he still here? I already had a tight end. I'm like, I'm taking him, and I'm all the way. So I'm keeping him for an 11th this year in my league, and I'm keeping Bucky for an 8th. Like, yeah,
that's the same situation I'm in. I can only keep 2 guys, so I had to choose between like Bucky, like in the 8th, and like Chase in like the 10th, Chase Brown. And then Bowers, and I can only keep 2 guys. So I'm thinking
rough.
I'm thinking keeping Brown because it's a 2-round value, but I don't know. It's a tough
I'd probably go. Yeah, I know. I had Bowers, and I had Bucky Irving, and I also had Puka. I could have kept for a 7th. So I can only choose 2. So I'm letting Puka ride.
Yeah, it kind of hurt. It hurts good drafting. So I feel like I don't know about that 2 keeper thing. I feel like it should be like at least 4 or 5. Sometimes, but every league is different.
Yeah.
All right. Let me give you one now. I'll go with there's a lot of them I like. But let's go with Jameson Williams over 900 yards. I just think everything we've been hearing with John Morton. It's funny. I don't know if do you remember Johnny Morton, the receiver for the Lions?
Yeah. I remember Johnny Morton.
Remember him? I kept thinking that he was the coordinator, and then I had to look him up. And I'm like, oh, it's not Johnny
I did the
Morton.
same thing. I'm like, is that the same guy?
Yeah. But he keeps talking JMO up, and I think JMO obviously had that terrible, start to his career. So I don't know. To me, this one seems like JMO could like break the league if he gets enough targets. So a 900 yards seems pretty easy. Now he's kind of lost in time, all different things. It's like gambling, his ACL, or So I don't know. Maybe something happens to him, but that one just seems very, very nice to me over 900.
No, yeah, I like that too. And like you said, it's just like how many guys in the NFL have missed time because of a serious injury, a gambling suspension, and a PED suspension.
Oh yeah, the PED too. I forgot about that.
And what's he going into his 4th year? Like, dude, settle down.
I know, seriously.
Do your job. Just be cool. Don't do anything stupid, and you're gonna like Steve said, you're gonna break the league. If he got 80 catches in a year, he might hit 2,000 yards.
Yeah, what 50 catches last year for 1,000? That's what he did.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like, yeah, if he can stay in there and they can give him the ball more, like, yeah, he's gonna make everybody look like a punk. No, I mean, I'd love if he plays the whole year. 900 is like that's like that's a long month for him. Like, no, that's absolutely take that all day long.
Yeah, I like that one. I watching like him and Worthy run like on tape, and I'm like, he looks faster than like he looks like he's running at a different speed than Worthy sometimes, which is crazy.
Like he's running on a different planet.
Yeah, he really. I think he might be like the fastest guy in the league.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, give me another one, man.
All right, let's see. I got another one. What else do I got here? I got you know what? I'm going Breece Hall. I got Breece Hall on his. I've got 850.5 rushing yards. I'm taking the over because I don't think there's going to be that much of a split between him and Braylon Allen. Yeah, I like Braylon Allen, and I think he's got potential. But we've got a new coaching staff in there. Maybe they kind of like Braylon Allen, but at the same time, all right, if things aren't going well for the Jets, drive Breece into the ground. You don't have to bring him back next year. You got Braylon Allen already on contract, so just keep feeding him the ball. See what he can do. Let him earn a contract for another team, or let him take your team and destroy everybody's defense on the ground. I mean, was it last year, the year before? He had like 70 or almost 70 receptions. Like, he's got pass catching chops. It's just now, yeah, they got a better They got a good defense in New York. I mean, I hear all that speak about like, oh, they're going to do more of a committee thing, more of a split backfield. I don't really see it. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think it's going to be Brees's hand for the majority, maybe like an 80-20, and just, and like I said, if things start going bad for the Jets, just run Brees into the ground. Do what the Raiders did to Josh Jacobs. Just keep giving him the ball over and over and over again. Let him get some astronomical number of rushing yards. So I'm absolutely taking that over 850, over 900. I'm saying 1,000, almost 1,000 yards for Brees Hall, I think.
Yeah, last year was a weird year. Again, their team fell apart. After Saleh was fired, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And it was looking incredible for Brees because 2 years ago, he came back from that ACL injury, and
Yeah.
they kind of slowly dialed him up, but he looked great. I mean, he had a bunch of big runs.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for almost 1,000 yards, 994, 4.5 yards per carry. But yeah, I mean, he caught 76 balls as well. So yeah, I mean, they may try to use Braylon Allen, maybe an Isaiah Davis a little bit in the beginning, but if Brees is showing out, they're going to start shifting to him more. And I don't know how high I am on Braylon Allen. Like, I don't know if he's like he might be good. I'm not really sold on him yet. I got to see more of him. But yeah, Brees is explosive, and Fields is going to open up some lanes for him for sure
Absolutely.
with those great
Absolutely.
options. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Brees, if he averages 4.25 yards a carry, he only needs 201 yards to go over 250 or 850 yards. He only needs 201 carries.
Yeah.
201 carries would get him over 851 yards. So, I mean, do we really think that Braylon Allen, or guy, keep doing it? Do we really think that Brees Hall is not going to get 200 carries? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
really?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily. I
Yeah.
got him pegged for 230 something. So yeah, I absolutely see that over. Yeah. No, Brees Hall, love that guy. And just a little bit of a discount maybe this year on fantasy drafts too. So
Yeah. No, he's some drafts now, he'll go into like the 5th, 6th round, which is crazy because he was in the
mhm.
3rd round, a couple weeks, like a month ago. And then all this Braylon Allen talk came out, and then everybody's just kind of following along with the trends. And yeah, you get a nice freaking value on Brees Hall right now
Mhm.
because people are down on him. All right. I'm going to go with George Pickens over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. We just saw them trade Parsons. Maybe their defense, everybody said, that's kind of the narrative that Dallas defense is going to be absolutely horrible with all these injuries, and if they get rid of Parsons, they're going to suck even more. Maybe they're a little bit better than advertised. They're still not going to be that great. And they're
Bengals
going to,
defense 2.0.
yeah, it could be, it could get really bad. And it could just be a lot of chucking. And, I mean, Pickens is, obviously been with terrible quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, Fields, and Artie Smith, and maybe he played 1 year with the dust of Ben Roethlisberger. I forget. Kenny Pickett, he had.
Kenny Pickett, yeah.
So it's like, now he gets Dak, who obviously could sling it. Dak played with Dez Bryant all those years, throwing it up, and that's what Pickens does best. He's great at contested catches. So you throw it up to him in the end zone. He's got CD to take some pressure off as well. Their backfield, I mean, it's not like Javonte is going to be like, a big threat, inside the red zone or, inside the 5. So it's like any guy in that backfield with Miles Sanders, Blue. So it's going to be the receivers, probably Ferguson as well, Dak throwing it in. And 5.5 just seems, I think George Pickens is most likely, in for a career season. And that's what most of the market expects as well.
No, I kind of agree. And I'm not even a big George Pickens fan. It wasn't until, and I wish I could remember the stat off the top of my head, but I heard some stat on 1 or 2 different podcasts, something about Pickens. And I can't remember if it was like yards after. There was something that clicked, and I'm like, yeah, he absolutely could score. I mean, 5.5 touchdowns, that shouldn't be an issue, especially now with the perceivably weaker defense after they shipped off Micah. But no, I think I like that, and this is
He
coming
had,
from a guy who's not a fan of George Pickens in the NFL. So
I mean, I mean, he's so like athletically gifted and talented. He's obviously just got to get his head on straight a little bit.
mhm.
And he's got, his route running gets sloppy at times. His effort could be questioned sometimes, I guess. But 4, 5, and 3 touchdowns. And I remember last year, like he must have had 3 or 4 touchdowns called back by penalty. So yeah, I mean, I think with Dak and the Cowboys and that defense, that's another good one. All right,
Mm-hmm.
your turn. Your turn there.
Gosh, I don't think I have any more player props actually.
Oh,
I
you're
think you
done?
got them all. Yeah, I think you got them all from me.
All right, I'll just fire off a couple more here.
Sure, sure.
I like Rashid Shaheed over 700 receiving yards. I know the quarterback situation is terrible with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck, but Rashid Shaheed plays 17 games and he's going to be featured. He was going to be featured last year, but he got hurt and he missed most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a big game, big threat for big plays. So I'm a big fan of his. I just feel like he can get 800 yards with those quarterbacks, or go over 700 yards rather. So that's an easy one for me. I'm going to go with the Jets combo of Garrett Wilson over 4.5 receiving touchdowns, Garrett Wilson over 925 receiving yards. I looked back a couple years ago with DJ Moore with
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields when he was the only guy pretty much to throw to. Moore had 1,400 yards and I
Mm-hmm.
think 8 or 9 touchdowns, and Fields missed a month. So, he was getting passes from Tyson Badgett for a month. So
Yeah.
I'm going with that one. I think Fields too, if he's out there for 17 games, he's going over 650 rushing yards as well. I mean, one of 3 quarterbacks to run for 1,000 yards in the NFL. So I like that little Jets one as well. And that's it. Those are all the props I had listed down. So let's move on to your offensive and defensive rookie of the year. I know you nailed this last year.
I did.
Uh,
I did.
with
So says Tally Site.
Yep, with Jaden Daniels and who's the defensive rookie of the year last year? Why am I
Oh,
not been?
yeah, seriously. Why can't I
Let's think about this for a sec.
should have looked at this. Wait a second. I had the list up earlier too.
Oh,
Oh,
Jared Verse,
yes, Jared Verse. That's right. Yeah,
beast.
I love like Jared Verse. Like I was like when the Vikings traded up in the draft last year to take Dallas Turner, I was thinking, oh my gosh, if we're taking Turner or Verse, I'm going to be so happy. And they took Turner, and I was so happy. But I would have been so much more happy if they took Verse, apparently. But no, I mean, I'm not upset about it. I like Dallas Turner. Just give him some time. He needed to put on a little bit of weight. Needed to get down. And needed to get all the playbook stuff in. And now like he's gonna turn it up this year. But no, like Verse was, yeah, he was something special.
There's your record, by the way, last year on the spreads. You were 165 and 114, 59%. You were
Mm-hmm.
you pick? I think you pick every game every week, right?
I think I've missed maybe like 4 or 5 games. Like I missed like a Thursday here and there. But other than that, I
Okay.
picked like almost every single game all the way through
Yeah.
the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, you were
So
fourth. You were fourth out of like, let's see,
yeah, like
100.
400 something people.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. And especially for the NFL, Tally Slate gets the most people picking, and you get a lot of, big sites on here too. So
Hmm.
that's pretty impressive for sure.
Yeah, no,
I
I
was
had
I
a
was
weird.
I was 17th on the totals. The sides I didn't do as good. I don't get all my picks in. Sometimes I miss stuff, but yeah, I was 17 on the total. I was better on totals though last year than sides.
Yeah, no, I like that spread because you find those little bits like you see this team playing against this team like that 6.5 just feels like way too much. I think they're going to keep that to like a field goal and then bam, they hit it. And you look like a genius, which apparently I did a lot last year.
Yeah, 100%. So who do you got this year?
All right. So let's see for the offensive rookie of the year. I'm going pretty chalky. I'm taking well first I had to look back and see. So for the last 6 years, the rookie of the year was a quarterback, and the other 2 were wide receivers. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go chalky, but at the same time, we're going Ashton Genty. Uh he he had one of the lower odds, but at the same time, um just like yeah, like Cam Ward is probably the favorite quarterback for it. Obviously, he's drafted first overall. He's going to be there all season long. But after him, just I mean, like yeah, he could hit Ridley for a lot of yards, and he's got Chigo Conk was a decent tight end, but I think it's either going to have some growing pains there. But no, I like Ashton Genty because, like I said, I think we could see an almost historic kind of season where he could run for 12, 1,300 yards. and reel in another 400 yards through the passing game. It's absolutely possible, and just I he's a special guy. He's a special running back. He's a special talent coming out of Boise State and putting up all those numbers. What was it? 6.6 yards a carry over his last 2 seasons at Boise, and that was on 594 carries. Just we know he can handle the workload in the NFL because he showed that the last 2 years in college. And I'm not saying he's going to get 6.6 per carry, but he gets that close to 5. Like he could absolutely crush and take that rookie of the year home on the offensive side.
Yeah, and he is the favorite. Set it up. Yeah, plus 275 is the best you can find on DK. Then Cam Ward, plus 350. He's in second. Is there any value picks here? You see it here that you like here out of these rookies that you would take a stab on?
Value pick. I mean,
what about Tyler Warren plus 2,200?
I just worry about that quarterback situation over there. Caleb Johnson. Where is he? Is he on that list somewhere?
There's Bill plus 2,500. Caleb Johnson. Where the hell is he? He's way down the list. I don't even see him here.
Wow.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Plus 4,000.
Well, that would
Krosky Merrick, the 7th round picks, got better odds right now.
Lord, there's so much hype, so much steam blowing up. Good Lord. I love it. I love the whole Bill Krosky thing. That's fun to listen to and everything. But I still think Chris Rodriguez is going to have enough of a share to make all these people reaching up into the 7th, 8th, 6th round to take Krosky Merritt. It's just I ain't doing it. I'm probably not going to have any shares of that guy this year. But no, I mean,
if you were taking him early, where he was going 17th, in deep drafts, I mean, all day. But now, you got to pay 8th, 7th, 8th round, which is crazy.
Yeah, but you like the 10th or 11th round in one of my drafts at the Expo, and I'm like, that's probably the highest I would take him, and that was before he started getting all the big hype,
Right?
But no.
But people are shitting on Caleb Johnson too because they're saying Jaylen Warren and Kenny Gainwell and Aaron Rodgers is not going to like him and he's going to send him to the bench.
If Jaylen Warren was the guy, he would have been the guy already. Pittsburgh has shown us that he's not the guy. They don't see him as the guy. Kenneth Gainwell is a short yardage guy, maybe kind of a pass catcher. Fine. But Caleb Johnson has vision. He's got patience. He's got not burst speed, but he's got high end speed. Dude hit 22 miles an hour running last year for Iowa. He scored 21 rushing touchdowns or an offense that the defenses knew he was getting the ball almost every time, and they couldn't stop him.
Their offense was hideous, man. It was one of the worst.
But he scored 21 touchdowns on the ground alone.
Yeah,
Caleb Johnson is going to break people's minds this year because when he gets into space and gets up top speed, gone. 30-yard touchdown, 40-yard, 50-yard, 60-yard touchdown. He's absolutely a great at plus 4,000. I'm gonna go find somewhere. I'm gonna go drive over to South Dakota or North Dakota and place a bet. I'm gonna drive down to Iowa, place another bet. I'm gonna drive over to Wisconsin. I think they have sports betting. I'm going to place another bet. I don't care. I can't do it here in Minnesota, so I'm going to go somewhere else to do it. But Caleb Johnson to plus 4,000, hell yes. If I put down $100 on that, I would be like, all right, if I lose, it's $100. But if I win, hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, Caleb Johnson. I love Caleb Johnson. He was my number 2 rookie coming into the draft this year. I love that people were crapping on him for his 40 speed was bad.
I agree. I agree with you too, man. Like when I watched him, I thought he would look great. I'm with you on Warren too. I think the Warren is like you get all these people who do all these drafts and they like to draft wide receivers so early, and Warren is like their safety net running back that they can rely on for fantasy. But you're right. I mean, if he was the guy, we would have seen a lot more of Jaylen Warren. So and he's the only different back in the backfield. Caleb is the big running back. Yeah. Warren and Gainwell are little, they're like the third down scat back. So
Mm-hmm.
Caleb's different. He's got speed. He could break tackles. He's got good feet. He's got good agility.
Yeah.
I thought he was better than Hampton too. I thought he was.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I think
And his
for me, I
vision
think it was, yeah, I thought he was better back than Hampton. I liked him better than Judkins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he's been dropping in drafts. So yeah, I kind of like that plus 4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Good value pick there. Trevion Henderson, what do you think about him plus 1,400?
I think he's going to have a long, successful career as a running back in the NFL. I just think it's going to start off slow this year. I don't think he's going to get enough touches to warrant his draft pick. I went back and forth with a guy on X this last week about Trevion Henderson, and he's got the skill to do it, but there's no reason to throw him out there. They just paid Ramondre Stevenson a bunch of money. He's still there. He's still a big bruising back. He's still got pass catching chops. There's no reason to force feed the new guy when you've already got the other guy. But yeah, Ramondre's had some fumbling issues. And I'm not saying he's going to be the next Saquon or the next Adrian Peterson, but I feel like it's going to be more of a split. And then you still got Gibson back there who's going to siphon off some of the touches when it comes to passing. So I mean, I like Henderson. I'm out on him at draft costs.
He's being steamed up for like third, fourth round most of the time, but you got to reach to get him now. I mean, people are just so excited about him. Abuka's another one. I mean, Abuka though, you maybe like a couple weeks ago you could say, but now with McMillan out of the way, we know Godwin's on the pup. It's like all set up for him now.
So yeah, there's going to be plenty of touch them, and Otten's probably might not play. At
I saw that.
So it's Mike Evans and it's like Buka, and it's nobody else. And what they've got, their first game is against Atlanta, who has like no ability to rush the pass. So Baker's going to be back there and just be able to sling it all day long week one. So
they did draft those two guys. Walker and the kid from James Pierce from Tennessee. So
yeah, but from what I've heard and understand is like they've got some work to do outside of them, and isn't one of the other one. I think it was Walker was more of like the run stuffing guy. I can't remember. Maybe
Pierce. I heard some good things. Like he's been beasting, but
yeah. But okay, so you got one guy. So then you get one guy can't rush the passer all day long. He's got to have somebody else to take some of the heat off him. If they can't get any pressure on the quarterback, Baker's going to sit back there and just throw the ball all day long, or he's going to roll out and then throw the ball.
Yeah. RJ Harvey, I mean, plus 2,500. I mean, that's not a terrible one.
We've seen what Peyton does with a dual back system. We saw what he did with Ingram and Kamara. I'm not saying he's going to do that again, and I hate Sean Payton, but at the same time, I mean, I like RJ Harvey a lot in that scheme.
Yeah, I would say like maybe Cam Scatterwell, but the problem with him is he missed so much of camp, and Tracy's in the way, and like Genty and the other guys are going to have such an advantage over him. Bayshaw too, and it's going to take a while for him to get geared up.
Yep.
I don't really see anybody else here. I mean, maybe you can make a case for Colston Loveland if he's like has a Sam Laporta type year, I guess, or Matthew Golden plus 2,200. Tet is not a bad one.
Yeah, Tet would be could be a value bet there. When it comes to the tight ends, honestly, I feel like Mason Taylor is going to outdo Loveland and Warren this year.
Wow.
Just this year. I mean, I feel like who else have the Jets got to throw to?
Yeah.
They got Wilson. They got Hall. They got Josh Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
Allen Lazard.
Yeah. And they just cut Corley, who they drafted last year.
Yeah. No, that's they're like, okay, that didn't work out. So no, I like Mason Taylor when it comes to rookie tight ends. I'm not saying any of them are going to do Brock Bowers or Sam Laporta kind of stuff, but I've got him set out as the leading rookie receiving tight end this year.
Wow. I mean, he's a huge value too. I mean, you can get him pretty much at the end of your drafts.
Oh yeah. That guy, if you don't get one of those top three guys, just wait until like the 11th, 12th.
I think Warren just fits Daniel Jones. Like Jones loves to check down. He loves to throw like those 6-7 yard passes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson had like 90,000 catches for like 5 yards last year. So I feel like, Tyler Warren could do a lot of that. Downs is there too, but they're really going to feature Warren. And the other thing about Warren too is I feel like he could have like 3, 4, 5 rushing passing touchdowns too, because that's what he did in college. And I feel like Steichen's going to utilize him a little bit that way. I'm with
Yeah.
you on Trevion though too. Like I'm trying to get there with him because so many smart people and like a lot of experts and a lot of big money players are on him. And I think he's talented. He has breakaway speed, obviously. I do think Ramondre is going to be in the way. And like, I mean, I think he's talented, but I don't like for where he's going. I don't know if he's that talented. Like, I don't know if he could break the NFL like that from
No.
what I'm seeing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's possible. And I know he's a really good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders, which is always a good thing too.
Mhm.
All right, let's talk about defensive rookie of the year now. And you again, Jared Verse, you nailed Jaden Daniels last year. You got Jared Verse last year. Who do you got this year?
So this year I got, and I went back and forth on this for a while actually, and I decided eventually just to go with my gut. Who did I love coming into the draft? Who I thought was going to get drafted a lot sooner? Who I thought had a just like the raw stats and the numbers and the ability that like looked like he could just destroy at the next level as well. I went with Mike Green from the Ravens. Guy coming out of Marshall. He fell a little bit in the draft because of some like character issues or whatnot. But now he's with the Ravens, who just churn out defensive studs left and right, all the way back. You can go look at guys like Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Peter Boulware, just guys.
Peter Boulware, I like that one.
Yeah,
Terrell Suggs.
Absolutely. And now
Chris McAllister.
Yeah, just like they just have the ability to just, and it doesn't even matter who the coach is. For some reason, guys in Baltimore who have like abilities and are look really good coming in, they just exceed and excel at what they were going to do. And they just paid Kyle Hamilton a whole bunch of money because he's shown it up. Now Mike Green, I loved him coming in. I wanted the Vikings to go with him in the early part of the draft, and it didn't happen. We had other issues to deal with when obviously the offensive line was a big one, but Mike Green, like, just like there's another character about him when he's on the field. He's a destructor. He can get through and he can stop the run. He can pressure the pass. I love so many different facets about him. So that was my pick, and I think he was going off at like +8.
Plus 1,200 is the best.
12.
Most common books, DK and FanDuel.
Yeah.
Plus 1,200 there on DK.
Yeah, I mixed him up with one of my other picks.
But no, he's third. He's third. He's the third. I mean, the odds on favorite is Abdul Carter plus 225, but then Hunter's second, plus 1,300, and then Green.
I think I'm not picking Hunter in either one of them. I just think he's not going to do enough. He's not going to be on the field for either side enough to really get that. Unless he he plays maybe 40% snap share on defense, and people are stupid and keep throwing at him after he's already got like 8 or 9 interceptions. Like, that's not going to happen. So no, I like Mike Green. I really like Mike Green.
Yeah, I don't know the defensive guys enough to really have a educated opinion. And that's something I kind of want to get more educated on, the defensive side of the ball. But I have to watch more college football. And the problem with me is, I sit down all day Sunday watching college football. So it's hard for me to freaking watch college football. I mean, NFL on Sunday, hard to watch college football all day Saturday too. I mean, I got kids. I got to do freaking something,
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get off my ass at least one day.
In the week. No, I get it. And my work week is Tuesday through Saturday now. So I'm going to have even less time to watch college football. Maybe I can catch some of those later games when
the night games. That's kind of what I got to focus on too. Like, catch the night games more. Like, I got to start doing that. And I kind of tried to do that a little bit more last year, but I'm going to try to focus. But I play in so many fantasy leagues too. Just all I'm thinking about all week is just what my fantasy lineups are going to do. And like, I need to like watch film from the weeks before. Like, so I'm always just prepping because I play DFS too. It's just like everything's about the NFL,
Yeah, so no, I'm the same. I'm not going to say this too loud, and hopefully my wife's not watching. I've more fantasy leagues this year than I've ever been in, and there's a bunch of them that are like, analysts and expert leagues and stuff that
that's awesome.
I made my way into from meeting people at the expo and whatnot. So
that's awesome.
I'm in a league against Andy Behrens. I'm in another one
against
Skip Majors. Like, just
Yeah, that's
all
cool.
those connections I made and all those opportunities. I'm like, I can't say no to this opportunity. I got to
Yeah,
keep
no,
going with it. Like
100%.
actively in a draft right now, and I just earlier today I was sitting on the 11 and I took Travis Kelsey and Pat Mahomes. I'm like, why not? Let's get that stack going, see what happens. So, but yeah, no, I think I'm in, not including best ball, I think like 17 or 18 different leagues right now. Like
Yeah,
with
it's a
like
lot.
three,
It's a lot of
four
work.
more coming up this weekend.
I know, man. I'm gonna be doing so many drafts, and now until like even like Saturday, I'll probably do a couple late drafts because like in some of the leagues I do, you get a free look and
hmm
they go up. So it's crazy. But yeah, playing with the experts is cool. I had an opportunity to do that years ago, and I got into those leagues are gone now. But
Yeah.
one guy got me into it. He's like, I can't play in these leagues. I'm getting my ass kicked. He's like, you can take my spot. I'm like, all right, I'll take
hmm
the opportunity. I was playing with like Jamie Eisenberg from CBS, like Jim
Oh yeah.
Coventry, and
Oh yeah, Jim. Oh, love Jim
yeah,
Coventry.
Bob Lung was actually the guy
Yeah.
who started the leagues. He created the league. So,
hmm
but yeah, definitely a good time, and it
Yeah.
makes you kind of feel a little bit, it gives you a little bit more energy to compete against those guys as well.
Yep. Yeah. No,
Um,
and I
all right.
might. I'm hoping next year for the expo I get into the Kings IDP because Gary Davenport puts that together, and he's the godfather of IDP and whatnot. Um,
Heck
he and my
yeah,
wife exchange texts all the time. So like, yeah,
that's awesome.
they're good buddies, and we're always his ride when it comes to karaoke night at the expo too. So yeah.
Did you see Harold Fannon's family at the expo too? Everybody was talking about that.
Oh, wait, his family was? I didn't know.
Yeah, his family was there. I don't know if you know Jamie, right? He's always on he pops up on all the shows. Jamie
Yeah,
Pierock.
yeah.
He took a picture with it and Fannon's mom and sent it to me.
What? I missed that.
Yeah, his
Love Harold
family was there.
Fannin.
I think they got up
What?
on stage at some point. Yeah, I do love Harold Fannin too, and he's actually getting he's not a bad rookie of the year pick either. Think about it. His odds are
I mean,
probably insane, but
yeah, it's insane. Like I could probably you probably put a $10 bet on it. If it hits,
yeah,
you probably bought yourself a new house or some crap. No,
yeah,
yeah, I love Harold Fannin. I just hate his landing spot.
yeah. But they are going to play a lot of 12 personnel, so he's going to be involved. But Njoku and Flacco seem like best buddies too, so that's going
Yeah,
to be a good connection.
yeah, yeah. Njoku Flacco, or like the tight end version of Stafford Cup from a couple of years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I haven't really drafted Njoku. I gotta start taking more of. I've been taking Fannin late, but he's getting, like I said, he's moving up.
mhm.
All right, let's do the MVP now.
All right.
Last year was Josh Allen. 2 years ago it was Lamar Jackson. You could have like said, well, maybe Allen deserved it more 2 years ago, like, or maybe and then Jackson deserved it last year. But either way, both
Yeah,
those guys are very deserving.
absolutely.
Jackson is the favorite once again, plus 550 or plus 430
hmm
as the worst odds, and then Joe Burrow is second actually, and then
Yep.
Allen is third. Mahomes fourth, Jaden Daniels fifth. So who do you like to win this?
So my chalky pick is Joe Burrow. Obviously, he like they're going to have to throw the ball a ton. If they get into the playoffs, they get 10, 11, 12 wins, not out of the realm of possibility. It's going to be off of the arm of Joe Burrow. Um, so that's my chalky pick, just because we know he can sling it. My
Yep.
value pick, and it's going off at when I saw it was plus 6,600. What if the Broncos go nuts and upstage the Chiefs, and what if Bo Nix looks like a freaking stud and just hammers or destroys my under prop on his passing touchdowns? If they go in there and they take the division by storm, it's possible because they've got the defense to do it, in my opinion. They've got enough offensive weapons. Bo Nix looked really good last year. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to go and throw a little, piddly bet on that at those odds if it hits.
Plus 6,000 on FanDuel. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so that's
Your boy Drake May is also plus 6,000.
yep. And I would look at that one too, but I just feel like, I don't feel like there's any chance the Patriots could win the division. I feel like there's a chance that the Broncos could. And that's basically the first step you need into to being considered for the MVP. And it's always going to go to a quarterback these days. So I didn't even look at any of the running backs or receivers or anything. But no, yeah, like value bet, Bo Nix.
What about Anthony Richardson plus 50,000?
Oh boy. Wow. Wow.
All right,
I
let's
was
be
thinking right afterwards, the aliens are going to come down and give us
that
the
is
cure to
insane.
cancer.
Yeah. Here, here you go. Here's this seed. Everybody eat this seed. You'll be cured. Yeah, Josh Allen still. I mean, 6-1 is nice for him. Even
Uh-huh.
Lamar, all these picks are solid. I mean, Lamar 5-1, Burrow 6-1, Daniels 10-1 is a good one. So I think one of those. I mean, Mahomes could easily win it again.
Sure.
I would say probably for me, like because of the weapons again, and if Allen has another big season, I think he may take it down again because like again, they didn't really add too much. They bring in a bunch of you know guys who are like kind of high picks but never really did much
Mhm. They got a
with
bunch of stable receiving pieces.
yeah. So
Keon
there's no
Coleman's got some upside. We are hoping. We saw Khalil Shakir, great possession receiver.
yeah.
Um, yeah, they've got enough pieces here and there. Dalton Kincaid, guys who can all chip in enough. Then none of them are going to be like fantasy season winners or whatnot. But Allen's going to be able to throw it around enough, and he's got the ability to run. He's a big guy. He's probably going to score 8, 9, maybe 10 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, it's absolutely a safe pick. It's a great pick for that.
Yeah, Daniels is a good one too. I mean,
Uh huh.
if he takes another resurgence, but again, we always assume these quarterbacks are going to smash the second year again
Uh
after
huh.
their first rookie year, but doesn't always happen that way. Daniels and Knicks kind of seem kind of safe
Yeah.
based off what we saw last year, but you just never know in the NFL. Things change real fast. We all kind of expected CJ Stroud to keep it going. He kind of took a big step back last year.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of injuries though. I mean,
Mhm.
Dell got hurt, Nico missed some time, Diggs was out. So like all his weapons got hurt. So it's kind
Yep.
of the perfect storm there. All right. Anything else you want to add? Any last picks? Maybe I don't know. Any maybe fantasy deep sleepers you want to throw out there or busts? One more thing for the people before we get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, so I already talked about, I mentioned my love for Brenton Strange, Drake May, Jaguars in general. Get yourself a piece of the Bengals offense, obviously, one piece or another. They're all probably going to hit at different times. Um, I'm thinking really good. I think I liked what Bryce Young was doing at the end of last season. Obviously he still had to have Thielen time, but you got Tedero McMillan coming in. Jalen Coker is going to fill in now for that role that Thielen vacated. I think that he's got some promise. So I like especially in like a two quarterback or a super flex league. Bryce
Yeah.
Young is a great pick. I think Jalen Coker is going to be a
Yeah.
good value pick. Grab him near the end of your draft. He could eat like he's probably going to step in and take over that slot role from Thielen. So he could easily get 60, 70, maybe 80 receptions this year. So yeah, Jalen Coker, great sleeper pick, I think, and especially how the roster has turned out in this last few days.
Yeah, I kind of started coming on to him a little just recently. I took him the other night right before they traded Thielen, and I got him real late, like in a 20-round draft. I think I got him in the 18th round. I
Yep.
was deciding between him and Roman Wilson, but I have so much Roman Wilson, so I
Mhm.
went with Coker, and I'm happy I did. But yeah, that's a good one. And Bryce Young, yeah, I think he surges even more now with Canales and adding McMillan, who's a huge target. You just throw it up to and come down with it. All
Mhm.
right, man. Tell everybody where they can find you. What kind of work you're doing right now.
All right, so I'm trying to get out as much stuff as I can. A lot of it's just through Twitter and social media at the moment. You can find me on X. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me. I just activated a TikTok account, so I don't have anything on there yet. Yeah, I decided I'm not too old for it. I guess. YouTube. It's all at FF Rabbit Dad. Just made it really easy
Hence,
for everybody.
hence the rabbit
Yes,
ears.
the rabbit ears. My lovely little rabbit over here who's chewing on her salad this evening. So she's happy, and yeah, I'm just trying to spit out as much content as whenever I get a chance to. If I got a thought in mind, I love guillotine content. I'm gonna try and start doing more of that. I got something in the works for a video series involving guillotine content. hopefully that gets started before the season starts. I don't know. It's really
Guillotine
close.
is Guillotine is starting to steam up. It's starting to get
Yeah,
more and more popular. I mean,
it is. It
I
is.
actually joined one, a $50 league. Like some guy or something that I know in one of my dynasty leagues was open. So I'm like, let me just try one out. And I
Mhm.
figure, hey, I mean, because I'm in so many leagues, but maybe I get cut in like week 4, week 5 anyway. I don't have to deal with it anymore. But it'll be fun if I keep going. I'll get into it. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
no.
saying to you. If we could try to squeeze one in before the end of the year, but
Yeah,
we'll
no,
see what
absolutely.
happens.
Hopefully, we can make that happen. Just throwing it out there really quick. A guy I like a lot in Guillotine, at least for week 1, Mike Evans, because no Godwin, no McMillan, no Otten. Grab Mike Evans, reach for him a little bit. He's probably going to catch 8, 9, 10 passes in the first game. So that's gold in a Guillotine. You're just worrying about 1 week at a time in Guillotine. So you don't need to worry about later on so much. Maybe you look 1 or 2 weeks ahead, but yeah, Mike Evans is the guy I love in Guillotine. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because you got to start cutting guys because there's going to be better guys out
You
there to
just
pick
got
up.
to not be last. You got to beat one person every week. That's it. If you beat one person every week, you win the championship.
Right.
That's all it
Right.
is.
Gotcha. So you're just shooting for like you're gonna have some. The draft's supposed to be kind of crazy because people are probably reaching for week 1 matchups. Maybe right? Is that what
I
happens?
mean, that's what I lean towards. I feel like that doesn't. I feel like people haven't gotten savvy to that quite yet. They're still mostly
Mm,
doing it like a redraft league because it's
yeah.
very similar to that. The only difference is
Yeah.
obviously you're playing against everybody. You just need to beat one guy as opposed to you need to beat the person you're playing against this week.
Yeah,
You just need to beat.
you have to balance it out, I guess. Like shoot for the week 1, but also you're not going to
Mhm.
take some, guy that's not that going to be that great for the rest of the
Yeah.
season either. So
Yeah, and don't like take 2 quarterbacks who have like a week 5 bye. You're just asking for trouble. Obviously, that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
no, it's a little more of that whole like you're aiming for a safe floor. You don't want the boom bust guys so much. You want to avoid those a bunch of rookies early in the couple. Let somebody else deal with that. Draft 3 or 4 rookies. They get their teams cut after 1 or 2 weeks, and then you scoop up the savory bits that help develop your team as the season goes on. It's yeah,
how deep
safe
are the
floor.
rosters? How deep are the rosters usually in Guillotine?
Well, if you do a full season guillotine, you're drafting with 18 teams. So the bottom of those
Wow.
rosters get real, real gross. So like I remember a couple years ago, I went with my last pick was was that Ward guy from the Philadelphia Eagles? Like, like I
Who?
yeah, exactly. It's like Tim Ward or
Or
something.
oh, I
Something like
think
that.
you're talking about the receiver, right?
Yeah, the receiver.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
I took
remember
him
him.
with like the
Yeah,
last pick in my guillotine, and like,
yeah.
yeah,
I think he
okay,
was a quarterback that converted to receiver. I think that
yeah,
guy.
something like that. Or he was like a
Yeah.
guy who like showed off in the first year of like
Yeah,
the XFL or something.
that sounds actually kind of fun. So yeah, I think you're right, man. To get into guillotine content, definitely start doing that. We'll see if we can get a draft in because it's definitely going to get more and more popular. Look at what
Uh-huh.
happened with best ball. Like it started slow.
Yeah,
And best ball is different because you don't have to do anything. You just draft and you can sit on it. But I mean,
best ball
that
is the
blew up.
gateway drug into fantasy sports.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Yeah. All right, man. That was great, Ben. I appreciate it. Again, everybody can follow him at FF Rabbit Dad. Definitely give him a follow. You can follow me on X at Fantasy Savvy. Make sure you guys are like, subscribing, sharing. We'll be back for more drafts very, very soon, as obviously this is a big draft weekend and then obviously Labor Day weekend next week as well. But all the best. Everybody have a great night. Take care.